If you're over 60, eating the wrong thing before bed could raise your blood pressure, spike your blood sugar, and silently damage your heart while you sleep. You've been poisoned in your own kitchen and had no idea. Common sleep if your nights have felt worse lately. Number 1. Caffeine, coffee, tea, chocolate. You might think that one last cup of tea after dinner helps you wind down, or maybe a little piece of dark chocolate feels like the perfect nightcap. But here's the truth. If you're over 60, that small treat could be quietly stealing your sleep. Caffeine doesn't just keep your brain awake. It stimulates your whole nervous system, blocking the signals that tell your body it's time to rest. For older adults, who already produce less melatonin and have lighter sleep cycles, even a small dose can throw everything off. What's worse, caffeine stays in your body much longer than most people think. The American Academy of Sleep Medicine reports that the half-life of caffeine, meaning the time it takes for half of the substance to be eliminated from your body, is typically between 3 to 5 hours, but its effects can linger for 6 to 8 hours. That means if you have tea or chocolate after dinner, half the caffeine could still be in your system at midnight, keeping your heart rate high and your mind alert. And for senior health, that's a serious concern. People with high blood pressure, anxiety, or heart rhythm issues are especially sensitive to this. A simple cup of coffee after 2 p.m. might lead to hours of tossing and turning, or even waking up with a racing heart. Here's the advice: cut off caffeine by early afternoon. If you enjoy a warm drink in the evening, try herbal teas like chamomile or warm water with lemon, and double-check those decaf labels. Some still contain enough caffeine to disturb your sleep. If you've been waking up in the middle of the night feeling restless, anxious, or just unable to fall back asleep, it's time to talk to your doctor or a sleep specialist. Caffeine might be playing a bigger role than you think. If you thought a little caffeine was the only thing keeping you up, wait until you see what alcohol really does to your sleep. Caffeine starts the problem, alcohol finishes it. Number 2. Alcohol, wine, beer, spirit. Here's something most people get wrong. You sip a little wine at night, maybe a bit of whiskey, thinking it'll help you sleep better, and sure, it might knock you out faster, but for older adults, that's where the benefits stop and the damage begins. Alcohol works like a sedative up front. It slows your brain just enough to make you drowsy, but once it wears off, usually just a few hours later, it shifts into overdrive. Your body rebounds, your nervous system gets reactivated, and suddenly you're wide awake at 2 a.m. wondering why. For anyone over 60, this rebound can hit harder. That's because your sleep cycles naturally become lighter with age. Alcohol disrupts rapid eye movement sleep, the stage responsible for memory consolidation, emotional processing, and mood regulation. Without sufficient REM sleep, even if you sleep 7 hours, you wake up feeling unrefreshed, confused, or physically weak. It doesn't stop there. The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention and other health organizations confirm that alcohol acts as a diuretic, pulling water from your system. That leads to more bathroom trips at night and increases your risk of dehydration, dizziness, and dangerous overnight falls, which are significant senior health tips concerns. If you're living with heart conditions, type 2 diabetes, or acid reflux, alcohol can quietly worsen all of them, especially when your body's supposed to be resting and recovering. These are the kinds of senior health tips that don't get enough attention because the effects are subtle at first, but over time, poor sleep caused by alcohol adds up to memory impairment, blood sugar imbalance, and even higher blood pressure. Here's the shift. If you enjoy a drink, have it earlier in the evening, at least 3 hours before bed, and skip the nightcap. If you're still feeling restless at night or notice more daytime fatigue after drinking, it's time to talk to a sleep specialist or your primary care doctor. What feels like a harmless habit could be quietly stealing your strength every single night. If you used to think a glass of wine helped you sleep but realize it's making things worse, type 2 below and let's hear your story. Number 3. Spicy foods, hot sauce, chili peppers, curry. Let's be honest, There's something satisfying about a little heat with your dinner. Maybe it's hot wings, a spicy bowl of curry, or just a few drops of hot sauce. But what starts as a burst of flavor can end up as a burning sensation in your chest hours later, especially if you're over 60. Spicy foods, particularly those containing capsaicin, the compound that makes chili peppers hot, can stimulate acid production in your stomach. When you lie down to sleep, that acid can easily travel upward into the esophagus, leading to heartburn, coughing, or a sour taste that wakes you up. This isn't just uncomfortable, it's a sign of acid reflux, and it's a lot more common in older adults due to natural changes in digestion and the weakening of the lower esophageal sphincter, the muscle that prevents stomach acid from backing up. For seniors with chronic reflux, spicy food at night can make things worse, raising the risk of ulcers, inflammation, and disrupted sleep. And here's another layer. Capsaicin can transiently increase your core body temperature. Your body, however, needs to cool down in order to fall asleep. That clash can delay sleep onset or cause fragmented rest, further impairing sleep quality. These senior health tips matter most when you're dealing with the little things that sneak into your daily habits. Something as simple as eating spicy food too late can lead to fatigue, poor focus, and even higher blood pressure over time due to chronic sleep loss. So here's the better move. Shift spicy dishes to lunchtime or early evening. For dinner, opt for mild, low-acid meals that won't trigger reflux while you sleep. And if you're experiencing nighttime heartburn, hoarseness, or waking up gasping, don't brush it off. Talk to a gastroenterologist. It could be silent reflux, and no matter how strong your stomach once was, after 60, your body needs peace, not heat, to recover. If you assumed it's just spicy food that messes with your stomach, think again. Sugar might be sneaking in through the back door. One burns your chest, the other messes with your blood sugar. Number 4. High sugar foods, candy, desserts, sugary drink. Alright, this one's sneaky. You finish dinner and grab a cookie. Maybe a little sweet tea, something to reward yourself after a long day. But what feels like a simple pleasure could be the exact thing keeping you up at night. Sugary foods cause your blood sugar to rise fast, then crash just as quickly. And that crash doesn't wait until morning. It often hits in the middle of the night, triggering a stress response in your body. Your heart rate goes up, your brain gets a jolt, and before you know it, you're staring at the ceiling at 2:30 a.m., wondering why you're wide awake. For adults over 60, the impact is even more intense. As we age, the body becomes less efficient at regulating insulin and blood sugar swings. If you live with type 2 diabetes, prediabetes, or even mild metabolic issues, these nighttime fluctuations can worsen fatigue, foggy thinking, and raise your risk of cardiovascular problems over time. This is where senior health tips really come into play, not just watching sugar during the day, but protecting your sleep at night. Because sleep isn't just rest, it's your body's reset. When sugar gets in the way, everything else starts to suffer. So what can you do? Avoid candy, cake, ice cream, or sugary drinks at least 3 hours before bedtime. If you're craving something sweet, try a few slices of fresh fruit or a handful of unsalted nuts. Those choices give your body something to work with without triggering the roller coaster. And if you've been waking up shaky, sweating, or just unusually hungry in the early hours, it's time to talk to your primary care doctor or an endocrinologist. These are signs your body is struggling with overnight glucose control, and cutting the sugar before bed could be the first step to sleeping through the night again. If sugar's been sneaking into your evening snacks and you're ready to break up with it, just comment 4 and we're right there with you. So if late-night sugar's been messing with your sleep more than you realized, you're not alone. A small sweet treat might seem harmless, but for your body, especially after 60, it's a bigger deal than it looks. And when you put that together with spicy foods that stir up heartburn, alcohol that fakes rest but robs your deep sleep, and caffeine that lingers long after dinner, well, no wonder your nights feel so broken. But here's the good news. Now you know what to avoid. And small changes tonight could mean real rest tomorrow. If this helped you, don't forget to subscribe to Healthcase. We've got more real-world senior health tips coming that just might change the way you sleep, eat, and live. Now that we've talked about what to steer clear of before bed, let's shift gears. Because not all foods are the enemy, some can actually help your body relax, sleep deeper, and wake up feeling stronger. Number 5. Tart cherries, or tart cherry juice. You might think of cherries as just a sweet little snack, or maybe something you'd toss into a dessert. But for older adults, tart cherries do something far more important. They help put your brain to sleep, naturally. Tart cherries contain melatonin, the same hormone your body produces to tell you it's time to rest. The problem is, after age 60, your natural melatonin levels tend to drop. That's why falling asleep or staying asleep gets harder as you age. But these cherries give your system the gentle nudge it needs to reset that sleep-wake rhythm. The Sleep Foundation and scientific research indicate that people who drank tart cherry juice, often consumed twice a day, reported sleeping longer and more deeply, especially those with insomnia. When it comes to senior health tips, getting more deep sleep means better memory, more energy, and even stronger immunity. So here's how to use it. Try 4 to 6 ounces of unsweetened tart cherry juice about 1 to 2 hours before bed. Or go with a small handful of the fruit itself. Just don't confuse it with sweet cherries or juice blends. They won't deliver the same effect. If you're living with diabetes or managing blood sugar levels, talk to your doctor or a clinical dietitian before adding cherry juice to your routine. While some studies suggest tart cherry juice might help regulate blood sugar in the long term, its natural sugar content can still cause nighttime spikes if you're not careful, especially in the short term. 1 small glass, that's all it takes to give your body a head start toward a deeper, quieter night. And it tastes better than any pill. Tart cherries help reset your sleep clock. But if your muscles won't relax, you're still not getting rest. That's where bananas quietly step in to finish the job. Number 6. Bananas. Here's one you've probably had sitting on your counter for years and never thought twice about. A banana might seem like the most ordinary fruit in the world, but when it comes to sleep, especially for older adults, it's got some hidden power. Bananas are rich in magnesium and potassium, 2 minerals that help your muscles relax and calm your nervous system. They also contain tryptophan, which your brain converts into serotonin, then melatonin. That means eating a banana isn't just about fueling your body, it's about telling your brain it's safe to wind down. If you're over 60 and dealing with nighttime muscle cramps, twitching legs, or that restless, can't-got comfortable feeling, this fruit might be exactly what you need. The National Center for Biotechnology Information, NCBI, and other scientific literature consistently highlight that magnesium plays a key role in regulating nerve signals and sleep cycles, especially in seniors with light or disrupted sleep, contributing to effective senior health tips. And when we talk about practical senior health tips, this is as simple as it gets. No pills, no side effects, just half a banana 30 to 60 minutes before bed. If you need more substance, pair it with a small spoon of almond butter for protein. Just don't go for green bananas, they're harder to digest, especially as your metabolism slows down with age due to their higher content of resistant starch. Now, if you're still waking up with tight calves or sudden muscle spasms during the night, don't brush it off. It's worth checking in with a neurologist or sleep specialist. But for many people, a banana at the right time can be the first small step toward a much better night. If bananas are already part of your nightly routine, or you're planning to give it a try, type 6 in the comments so others can too. Number 7. Almonds. Let's talk about that bedtime snack, you know the one. A little something to keep your stomach from growling or your blood sugar from dipping too low. But here's the thing, what you eat before bed matters more than you think, and almonds might just be the smartest handful you can reach for. Almonds are packed with magnesium, melatonin, and healthy fats. That combination does a lot of quiet work while you sleep. It helps your muscles relax, keeps your nerves steady, and most importantly, prevents those blood sugar dips that can wake you up in the middle of the night. For older adults, that's a big deal. As we age, the body becomes more sensitive to shifts in blood sugar, especially overnight. If you're managing diabetes, dealing with irregular sleep patterns, or waking up hungry and disoriented, this tiny snack could be part of the solution. The Sleep Foundation and other research consistently highlight that magnesium is linked to better sleep quality, particularly in people over 60, by helping to regulate neurotransmitters that calm your brain and prepare your body for rest. That's why almonds show up again and again in senior health tips focused on natural sleep support. Here's how to make it work. Grab about 10 to 15 plain, unsalted almonds, just a small handful, and have them 30 to 60 minutes before bed. Skip the roasted or flavored ones. They often come with added oils, sodium, or sugar that cancel out the benefits. If you ever feel bloated or uncomfortable after eating almonds, talk to a digestive health specialist. While almonds are generally good for gut health due to their fiber content, consuming too many at once, especially for those with slower digestion common in older adults, could lead to discomfort. But for most, this one small routine can make your sleep deeper, steadier, and a little more peaceful. Almonds help keep your body steady while you sleep. Fatty fish builds the foundation before you even get there. One's for the night, the others for the whole day leading up to it. Number 8. Fatty fish. Salmon, mackerel, trout. Picture this: grilled salmon, a side of vegetables, and a quiet dinner, a couple of hours before bed. It sounds like a heart-healthy meal, right? But here's what many people don't realize. That simple plate of fatty fish is also feeding your brain the exact nutrients it needs to help you sleep deeper. Fatty fish like salmon and mackerel are rich in omega-3 fatty acids, particularly DHA and EPA, and vitamin D. Together, these nutrients play a critical role in producing serotonin, the chemical that helps regulate your mood and, more importantly, your sleep-wake cycle. As serotonin rises in the evening, it signals the body to start winding down and eventually convert that signal into melatonin, your natural sleep hormone. For seniors, this is especially important. After 60, serotonin and vitamin D production can drop, which is one reason why older adults often struggle with falling asleep or staying asleep. And when deep sleep is cut short, it doesn't just lead to grogginess, it increases the risk of memory issues, mood swings, and even higher blood pressure. In fact, some studies, including research published in journals like the Journal of Clinical Sleep Medicine, have found that consistent intake of omega-3s and vitamin D, often achieved through regular consumption of fatty fish, is associated with better sleep quality and improved daytime alertness. When it comes to practical senior health tips, that's about as natural and effective as it gets. To make it work for you, have a serving of fatty fish, about 3 to 4 ounces, at dinner, at least 2 to 3 hours before bed. Bake or grill it to retain nutrients, and pair it with calming foods like leafy greens or roasted vegetables. And if you rarely eat fish or avoid it due to taste or dietary restrictions, ask your doctor or a registered dietitian about supplementing with omega-3 or vitamin D. Just make sure it's tailored to your health needs, especially if you're on medication or managing chronic conditions. Sometimes, a good night's sleep doesn't start with your pillow, it starts with your plate. If a dinner with salmon or mackerel has ever helped you rest better, hit us with an 8 in the comments. We're taking notes from each other. So yeah, sometimes getting better sleep really does start with your dinner plate. A piece of fish might seem simple, but it can do more than any pill when it comes to calming your body from the inside out. And when you pair that with something like almonds to steady your blood sugar, a banana to relax your muscles, or Tart cherry juice to gently reset your internal clock, you're giving your body exactly what it needs to wind down the right way. It's not about doing everything at once. Just choosing one of these small habits tonight could mean a deeper, steadier sleep tomorrow. And even with the right foods, the right timing, and all the good habits in place, there's still one piece most people forget: your body's internal clock. See, after 60, your circadian rhythm, the natural cycle that tells your body when to feel sleepy and when to feel alert, can start to slip. Maybe you're staying up a little later, falling asleep in the recliner, or waking up too early and not being able to get back to sleep. Sound familiar? The truth is, you could be eating all the right things before bed, but if your sleep schedule keeps shifting, your body won't know when to release melatonin or how to settle into deeper rest. That's why one of the most underrated senior health tips is to eat dinner and go to bed around the same time each night, even on weekends. No big swings, no late-night meals, just a steady rhythm. Give your brain a pattern it can trust. Because your body isn't just digesting food, it's tracking time. And when those two things are in sync, sleep becomes easier, more natural, and more restorative. Food matters. But so does when you rest, when you rise, and how consistent you are in between. So between what to avoid and what to eat, you've now got a simple toolkit to help your body rest, not react. These small changes, swapping out one snack, shifting your dinner time, skipping that late coffee, can add up fast. Better sleep means better focus, steadier blood sugar, lower blood pressure, and fewer nighttime wake-ups. And if you start now, you're not just sleeping better next week, you're protecting your long-term health for the years ahead. That's the big message today. Some foods can quietly harm your sleep, others can gently heal it. You just have to know the difference. Make sure you stay hydrated, check in with your doctor if sleep's been tough, and take one step at a time. And if this video helped you even just a little, go ahead and like, share it with someone you care about, and subscribe to Healthcase for more senior health tips that actually work.